can!
It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good...
Hi, welcome to Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get the show started. Right, it's the Indian Festival of Colour today, so wishing you all a very happy Holi. And we promise a lot of colour on the show today. Australians who missed out being part of the ICC Champions Trophy are set to make an appearance at the Indian Premier League. Will all biases and allegations against the Indian Cricket Board and the ICC be now forgotten? Even as Mitchell Starc was the latest to chip in to be a part of what's now a raging debate. The exciting Formula One season is upon us and all eyes will be on Ferrari's new blue-eyed boy, Lewis Hamilton. Will his fortunes turn around this season in red? And Virat Kohli seems to be igniting some serious backlash. He isn't lifting a finger here, but his enraged fans are certainly setting everyone else on fire. At the heart of this raging controversy is, believe it or not, a bottle flip. More on the show, but first a look at the headlines on Sports 360. Starting with the Women's Premier League, a dominant Mumbai East passed a shaky Gujarat to enter the final of the WPL. Nats give a brunt, scored 77 to power Mumbai to 213. Hayley Matthews, with her 77 and 3 wickets, put out an all-round display to beat Gujarat by 47 runs. Mumbai will now face Delhi in a repeat of the 2023 WPL final. On to football, Manchester United have entered the Europa League quarterfinals after beating Real Sociedad 5-2 on aggregate scores. The score was level at 1-1 after the first leg. United skipper Bruno Fernandes scored a hat-trick to make it 4-1 in the second. Real Madrid star Kylian Mbappe has been named in France's squad for the upcoming Nations League quarter-final against Croatia. Mbappe will return to national duties for the first time since September last year. French coach confirmed Mbappe will lead the side. In tennis, world number 2 Iga Swiatek has entered the semi-finals of the Indian Wells Masters. The defending champion beat Chinwen Chang in straight sets. She will next face Mira Andreeva. And summing it up with news from NBA, Golden State Warriors point guard Steph Curry became the first player to net 4,000 career three-pointers. That's right, Curry reached the milestone in the third quarter against Sacramento Kings. Following Curry's contribution, Warriors won the match 130 to 104. T20's Cricket Carnival. The Indian Premier League is just some days away. The biggest names in the sport are all gearing up for this mega event. But the story today is about the stars who missed the Champions Trophy but have somehow made certain that they make it for the Indian Premier League, the IPL. Primarily Australia's big guns, Pat Cummins, Mitchell Starc, Josh Hazlewood and Mitchell Marsh. Some skipped the ODI event due to personal reasons and others due to injury. But with IPL set to start, all these key players look set to be available for their respective franchises through the 2-month-long tournament. Their comeback to IPL is marked by drama, allegations, pointing fingers at the ICC and the BCCI. Because just a week ago at the Champions Trophy, the cricketing world united and accused India of bias. Prominent voices, critics and even some of the players here spoke of how India had a favoured schedule. The country didn't travel unlike the other 7 teams and had their base in Dubai. Basically questioning India's dominant win and ICC's fairness. And among these was Aussie skipper Pat Cummins, who was ruled out of the Champions Trophy due to injury.
I think it's good in that the tournament can go on, but obviously it does give them a huge advantage playing on the same ground. They already look very strong, and they got that obvious benefit of playing all their games there.
And the preferential treatment claims haven't really died down just yet. Mitchell Starc, who skipped the Champions Trophy citing personal reasons, has joined in on this now.
When one team gets to stay at one place, no flights, no restrictions upon them in the place, train at the same venue every time, play every game at the same venue, I would tend to agree with some of the opinions that have come out.
The irony here is, while these players continue to accuse the Indian Cricket Board and the ICC for not flying to and fro and having a more relaxed tournament, the same setup will be the reason why all these players will fly down to India on their own will, and a setup that requires all of their players to keep travelling over weeks, more strenuous than any other tournament. And it is understandable too. IPL has changed cricket's landscape since it launched in 2008, and now 18 years later too, it is setting an example for the rest of the world when it comes to the best run leagues. The biggest crowd puller, a platform where the best in the business compete, and a league that brings in the big bucks. And after the Indian players, it is in fact the Australians who have benefited from this the most. Pat Cummins was retained, of course, by the Hyderabad franchise for a whopping amount there and remains the highest paid Aussie in 2025 edition. Josh Hazlewood, of course, is with the Bangalore franchise in the second spot with a staggering $1.4 million deal. Mitchell Starc takes third place with a $1.3 million deal placed for Delhi. And then, of course, there's Marcus Stoinis, who's placed for Punjab, and Jake Fraser-McGurk for a little over $1 million. And it isn't just this season. For the 2024 edition as well, Mitchell Starc, Pat Cummins were the two costliest buys in the whole auction. Spencer Johnson, Travis Head and Jai Richardson also making up the numbers. They're the other three top Aussies. Which is the reason why none of the Aussies want to miss the IPL. And there is another important factor here too. A majority of the players who have been sold for such a high amount have been bowlers. And typically for a pacer, the career is a challenging one that's fraught with a lot of factors, injuries being on the top of the list, unlike the batters. Cricket is more rigorous a sport for the fast bowlers and the all-rounders. And they are the most sought commodity at leagues such as the IPL because of this. And it's a delicate balance that they need to achieve through their career. So it is during their prime that they can get the most out of the perks that leagues such as the IPL that pay the big bucks really offer. So why point fingers at a system that has given a massive boost to the sport, the various franchises that have been involved? This isn't to say that they will have to choose between league and country. It's a personal choice. And we have seen many players taking that difficult call time and again. But maybe acknowledging that there is a need for a delicate balance that's required everywhere is what's critical, no matter where you decide to play. It's been 19 years since Hamilton first entered the Formula One paddocks, and yet after close to 2 decades, it's once again time for another first. A new journey with one of the most decorated Formula One teams here, the Ferrari. No wonder more than the defending champion Red Bull's Max Verstappen or the constructors' winners from last season, McLaren. It is Hamilton who is in focus before the first race of this year, the Australian Grand Prix. And there are many reasons for this excitement and the buzz that's coming around for this particular year. Number one, it's the emotions. The coming together of giants, two of the best in the sport. Plenty of silverwares between them alone, and yet craving for lost glory. Two, Verstappen's fall from grace. Yes, he's still the defending champion, no doubt, but recent incidents haven't really made him the most well-liked figure in the sport currently. The row surrounding team principal Christian Horner last season put Red Bull under the spotlight. Then, of course, Verstappen himself didn't make it too easy. The swearing row at the Singapore Grand Prix, followed by an ugly feud with Mercedes driver George Russell at the Qatar Grand Prix. The latest now, a feud with British fans and British media, to the extent of Verstappen even threatening to quit any future events in Britain. So while the 4-time world champion has been tackling and igniting controversies, a calm and composed Hamilton has been dazzling in pre-season testing.
now embarking on something brand new for me, and something, you know, I didn't think would happen when I turned 40, and I'm still like pinching myself. Like next week when I get to the race, I'm gonna be starting the Grand Prix in red. Like, wow, it's I don't have the words to really explain just how excited I am, but I'm trying to just stay cool and calm. But for sure, arriving in red is gonna be cool.
Now, while Hamilton doesn't need Verstappen's antics to draw all the attention towards him, it wouldn't be completely wrong to say that the chaos has indeed helped the seven-time world champion, because the season is starting with all eyes just on this British driver.
Lewis is coming as a legend of the sport, so there is a lot more attention on him than me at the moment, but I am completely fine with it. I completely understand that. It's normal, it is that way, it is fine for me.
Mr. Ferrari, as Hamilton calls his new teammate, is fine with his senior partner getting all the attention, which only bodes well for Ferrari, who missed out on the Constructors' win by just 14 points last year and will be looking to convert that around this year, spelling enough pressure for Hamilton, who's trying to shrug that off.
I'm not here to prove anything to anybody. I have done it time and time again. I am under no assumptions it will be easy. I don't feel the pressure. The outside pressure is non-existent for me. The pressure is from within and what I want to achieve.
Hamilton and Leclerc's statements prove one thing for sure. The mental aspect is all sorted in Ferrari. But can they translate that onto the tracks in terms of performing where it truly matters?
I know how much fuel and stuff Ferrari had for a lot of the testing, and you'd be surprised at how quick they're going to be this weekend.
Norris claims Ferrari haven't really revealed all their cards just yet, that they are saving the best for as the season progresses, not making their rivals aware just yet of how threatening they can truly be. They have a great duo in Hamilton and Leclerc, and with what promises to be one emotional ride, it's safe to say, strap on for a roller coaster of a season to come. What happens when India's cricket superstar casually sips water and sets down a bottle? Apparently a social media storm. After Virat Kohli's failed attempt at a bottle flip post the Champions Trophy victory, disappointed fans took their frustration out. Not on him, but on the bottling company Bisleri. The brand's social media pages were flooded with outrage, as if the bottle's inability to land upright was a manufacturing defect rather than plain bad luck. Overnight, Bisleri went from hydration hero to national villain, all because gravity had other plans. A report.
Virat Kohli had a fabulous Champions Trophy. The victory was celebrated by everyone across the country and in the dressing room. And it was during this celebration that Kohli gave an unintentional nod to the 2016 viral bottle flip challenge. The Indian cricketer was caught on camera taking a few sips from a Bisleri bottle before attempting to place it on a cabinet. The bottle unfortunately failed to land upright. A visibly disappointed Kohli then moved on, but his fans did not. Somehow, this moment triggered a digital tsunami of rage against Bisleri. The brand's page was bombarded with comments from angry fans, as if the bottle's inability to balance was somehow the fault of the company that produced it. Bisleri was caught unaware of the fact that they had transformed into a villain overnight, probably spent the day wondering why a harmless water company had suddenly become public enemy number one. If you think Kohli's fans have done this for the first time, you would be mistaken. While Kohli's bottle misadventure had the internet go up in arms, another incident got fans all riled up as well. The target, electronics giant Philips. The reason was New Zealand cricketer Glenn Phillips. Phillips pulled off a spectacular one-handed catch that sent Kohli back to the pavilion during the group stage clash. Heartbroken fans took to social media to vent their frustration, except they mistakenly targeted the electronics company instead of the cricketer. Eventually, some sensible fans pointed out the mix-up, but the damage was done. If Bisleri and Phillips thought they had it bad, they should spare a thought for one Himanshu Sangwan. No, not the Railways pacer who clean bowled Kohli for just 6 runs during the much-hyped return to domestic cricket. Another Himanshu Sangwan, a completely unrelated person who happened to share the bowler's name. In January, as thousands of fans poured into the Arun Jaitley Stadium to witness Kohli's Ranji Trophy homecoming, their excitement quickly turned into despair when Sangwan sent Kohli's stumps cartwheeling, sending the crowd into stunned silence. But the real drama unfolded online, where furious fans hunted for the bowler's Instagram only to stumble upon an innocent namesake. Within hours, the wrong Himanshu Sangwan found his notifications flooded with threats and abuses, and accusations of ruining the nation's weekend. Desperate to clear his name, he was forced to post a clarification. He posted a video in which he said, and I quote, "Guys, I have nothing to do with cricket. Please stop messaging me."
तो भाइयों आपको एक बात बता देता हूँ, मैं वो क्रिकेटर हिमांशु सांगवान नहीं हूँ।
Virat Kohli might be one of the greatest cricketers India has ever seen, but his fans, they are in a league of their own, turning missed bottle flips into corporate conspiracies and mistaken identities into social media witch hunts. While their passion is undeniable, their ability to completely lose the plot is equally impressive. After all, when it comes to Indian cricket fandom, logic often takes a backseat to raw, unfiltered and frequently misplaced passion.
Time for last, Formula One enthusiasts gathered for a fan festival at the Albert Park circuit ahead of the Australian Grand Prix. Jack Doohan, Esteban Ocon and Oscar Piastri were present to entertain fans. Take a look as the excitement builds for the Formula One season opener. That wraps it up here. Do, of course, catch the exciting Formula One weekend. Do take care. I'll, of course, see you on the other side. Till then, bye-bye.
Firstpost brings you the Ideas Pod at the Raisina Dialogue 2025, the largest gathering of global policymakers, thought leaders, and innovators, now on the fastest growing international news platform. Big ideas, big debates, big impact. Only at the Ideas Pod.
Raisina Shield.
Firstpost gives you front row access to the conversations that matter most. The Ideas Pod. Raisina Dialogue 2025 on Firstpost. From March 17th to March 19th.